Hi, my name is Caitlin Bassett, and I will be talking about The Walking Dead. First, we have an overview of the questions that helped me guide my research paper, and this includes who is the real hero between Negan and Rick? How does this impact both of their followings? How long have zombies been a topic of horror in history? What is the cultural origin of zombies? Is The Walking Dead a metaphor for the people instead of the actual dead? And could the show be a metaphor for Darwinism? Why does Negan rule by fear instead of Rick's method, which is democracy? Are people more of a threat than the walkers? How has The Walking Dead influenced pop culture, such as video games, t-shirts, shoes, and costumes? And next we have my thesis statement, which is the world in which Rick and Negan live influences their morals and ethics in ways that could potentially influence real-life society as a whole. And now we have the origins of Rick and Negan's construct. The Walking Dead aired its premiere on October 31st, 2010. Negan makes his first appearance to Rick and his group in the season 6 finale, episode 16, which was aired in April of 2016, in which Rick and his friends are trying to get Maggie, a pregnant woman, to the hilltop for much-needed medical assistance. They are confronted by Negan with the Saviors in tow, and Negan kills two of Rick's companions to teach them a lesson and leaves the rest of them to get Maggie to the hilltop. And now we have the cultural context or historical context for zombies. Zombies in history. Zombies have been prevalent throughout history since the Stone Ages. In Syria, there were 10,000-year-old smashed skulls found in archaeological dig sites. They were completely detached from their bodies, and this was because it was a traditional ritual in the Europe and Near Eastern region, as there have been other sites like this discovered in the same area. It was believed that Stone Age cultures believed dead people were a threat to the living, or at least this was suggested through the findings. Next we have zombies in pop culture. The subject of zombies became a genre of horror in movies beginning in 1932 when the first horror movie came out titled White Zombie. Others have come out through the years, such as King of the Zombies, I Am Legend, and World War Z, along with many, many more. Each has their own little twist, like I Am Legend is more of they were possessed to want to infect and bite people, along with the same as World War Z. They didn't die and come back, so, like The Walking Dead depicts. Not every zombie film is the same, but each has their own unique quirks that people find likable and fun to watch. And then here are the movie posters for the movies I listed, and then the Walking Dead pictures. Next we have a season 6 breakdown. Rick and his group ran into the hilltop and decided that they'd be a good community to trade with. They found out that Negan owns the hilltop, and Gregory, the leader of the hilltop, agreed that Rick would kill Negan for them, and in return, the hilltop would provide Alexandria, Rick's community, some much-needed supplies, such as food and medical supplies. Rick did not know what Negan looked like before they went off on their assassination mission. They just went off to a suspected savior outpost, which is what Negan calls his community, and killed dozens of people in it, hoping that Negan would be one of them, and unfortunately, Negan was not, and this sparked the rivalry between Rick and Negan in the following episodes and throughout the following 2 seasons as well, which is where they currently are in the show. Next, we have some metaphors for the title. One of the first 2 is a metaphor for The Walking Dead is a metaphor for the people in the show rather than the actual zombies, as the title implies. The title refers to the living people in the show rather than the dead because the characters can all be seen walking aimlessly for miles just trying to find a place to settle down. But everyone is destined for a zombie afterlife unless someone damages their brain either before or very soon after they die. And then next we have the Darwinism metaphor, survival of the fittest. The Walking Dead is reminiscent of Darwinism. Survival of the fittest is the only thing the zombie virus seems to care about, for lack of a better term. Natural selection that is shown in the form of a zombie apocalypse is the ultimate test for humanity's survival. If we cannot survive this horror, then maybe the human race was not meant to continue to rule the earth. Maybe the zombies were meant to have all the control until they all decomposed and perished over time, of course, and then who knows what would end up ruling the animals. And then next we have some pop culture influences. The Walking Dead has advertised in many ways, such as video games, t-shirts, spin-off shows such as Fear the Walking Dead, and action figures, as shown in some pictures I provided, and some societal influences on leadership. Rick and Negan's differing morals could have had an influence on how people in our society view leadership, or in Negan's case, authoritarianism or dictatorship. Rick rules with equality and Negan rules by fear. I'm sure Rick rules like this because he wants to be more friends with his community, while Negan wants control. He wants godlike followers. He doesn't want to be friends with his community. He wants them to be afraid of him, and they live in fear that he could kill them from day to day. And considering how these two leaders rule their separate communities, this could have influenced how realized society perceives leadership as a whole. Depending on who the audience relates with more and how old the audience is, it could have had a deep impression on them on how society should be governed, either with a dictatorship or a democracy. And now for my final thoughts. In conclusion, zombies have influenced many people and many cultures, from the Stone Age to voodoo practices in Haiti. The Walking Dead is just one more portrayal in the world of the horror genre. Rick's and Negan's methods of ruling could have a profound influence on how younger audiences perceive leadership. They may come to believe that leadership means ruling with fear rather than equality. It begs the question, however, of what is more terrifying, the zombies or the people? And it's my opinion that Negan is a perfect example of this. People can be more unpredictable and more creative in their methods of fear rather than zombies. Zombies only have one instinct, and that is to eat. But people can be far, far more terrifying in terms of unpredictability. Thank you.